welcome in. Today we're going to cover Act 1, Scene 7 of Shakespeare's Macbeth, the graphic novel version. At the beginning of this scene, King Duncan and Banquo have arrived at the Macbeth's castle, ready to celebrate, and celebrate they will. So they start with a banquet, as you can see. And of course, behind the scenes, the Macbeths are planning to kill the king. And for the majority of this scene, you will find that Macbeth is really grappling with that decision, going back and forth in his mind. He has soliloquies on whether or not he can actually go through with this. And we talked about this in class. Do you think that Macbeth can go through with his plan to kill King Duncan? Or do you think Lady Macbeth will have to step in and take over because she has what it takes? At least it sounds like that. That's how she presents herself. All right, let's get started. Enjoying a lovely dinner. If doing the deed would end this business, then it would be best to do it quickly. If the assassination could sweep my future clear like a net, if only this murder could be the be-all and end-all of this entire affair, that here in this little island of my mortal life, I would risk my soul in the next world. But crimes such as these always have punishments in this world, and that our violence simply teaches bloody lessons to others, and then those students return to plague their teachers. Justice, being fair-minded, forces us to drink from our own poisoned cup. The king trusts me twice over. First, as his kinsman and subject, I am sworn to protect him. And as his host, I should be barring the door against the murderer, not wielding the knife myself. Besides, Duncan has worn his authority so mildly and kept himself so pure that when he dies, his virtues will trumpet like angels against the wickedness of his murder. Pity, like a naked newborn babe, will ride the stormy winds, or else winged angels on invisible horses will blow news of the horrible deed into every eye, so that the people's tears drown the air. I have nothing to spur me into careful action. All I have is this wild ambition, which might make me vault too high, only to crash on the other side. As he's thinking this, enters Lady Macbeth. What news do you have? He has almost finished dinner. Why did you leave the banquet hall? Has he asked for me? Don't you know he has? We can't go on with this plan. The king has just honored me, and I have earned the good opinion of all sorts of people. These glories should be worn now while they are fresh, not tossed away so soon. What happened to your dream? Was it drunk when it made these plans? And did it go to sleep only to wake up green with sickness and pale in fear at its former boldness? From now on, I'll consider your love to be just as fickle. Are you afraid to be the same man in action as you are in your desires? Will you take the crown you want so badly, or will you live as a coward, always saying, I can't, once you say, I want to, just like the poor cat in the old story who wanted fish, but dared not get her paws wet? I pray you stop. I dare to do only what is proper for a man to do. He who dares to do more is no man at all. If not a man, then what beast made you share this plan with me? When you dared to do it, then you were a man. And if you dared to be greater than you are, then you would be so much more a man. Neither the time nor the place was right before, and yet you were ready to go ahead with it. Now the time and the place are perfect, but that very perfection alarms you. I have suckled a child, and know how sweet it is to love the babe at my breast. But, even as it smiled up at me, I would have plucked my nipple from its boneless gums and dashed its brains out if I had sworn to do it as you have sworn to do this. But if we fail, we fail. Just lock your courage to your crossbow, and we can't fail. When Duncan is asleep, the day's hard journey assures that he will sleep soundly. I'll ply his two chamberlains with wine and song so that their memory escapes like smoke through a chimney. When they lie asleep like pigs, so drunk that they're dead to the world, what won't you and I be able to do to the unguarded Duncan? What won't we be able to pass off on his drunken servants who will bear the guilt of our great crime? May you breed men, children only, for your steely spirit should form nothing but males. Once we have covered the two servants with blood and used their very daggers to commit the deed, won't people believe that they were the culprits? Who will dare think otherwise when we grieve and clamor so loudly over Duncan's death? I am settled and will exert every muscle in my body to commit this crime. Go now and mock the night with your hospitality. Hide with a false, pleasant face what you know in your false, evil heart. Thus ends Act 1, Scene 7. All right, well, they have now committed to the plan. This is Macbeth at the end, shrouded in his mask. Because he is masking his true intentions as well. So, how does Lady Macbeth convince her husband to go through with things? Well, she makes fun of his masculinity, right? She makes fun of his manhood, calls him less of a man if he were to not follow through on what she points out was his plan to begin with. And she makes a point in pointing out that this was your plan, by the way, not me. And the fact that you can now not go through with it, well, what kind of man are you? Because he was saying earlier that he wouldn't be much of a man if he ended up committing this act. And so she plays off of his words. Woo! Bashing the brains out. Were you expecting that one? Look. Stick your courage to this. Place your courage to the sticking place, which is hitting him in the part where he's most affected, right there. Yes, that's what it means. So Lady Macbeth has won this battle, though. She has convinced him to commit the act, and they are going to get the guards drunk, kill the king, and place the bloody daggers in the guards' hands, making it look like it was carried out by them. Pretty smart. Not a bad plan. We'll see what happens in this plan in Act 2. Have a wonderful day, you guys. Thank you for listening.